Let us begin, and we'll begin as we do with mini but full Vandana. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalang Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Cha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahaviranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Goratvijay Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Kindubhya Evacha Patitamyam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And please send some good wishes to Kum. She's battling off with getting better, but needs more good wishes from the devotees. All right, so let us, Suresh Krishna, come to you first. I remember last week we didn't have much of a chance for interaction, but today I promised we shall be interactive. So, Suresh Krishna, over to you.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat Paramananda Prabhu, Dandavat to all the devotees, Dandavat Kukum Didi. Yes, very happy to welcome everyone in our small room.
I'm not getting English. Oh, I see. It's gone back to the original. Okay, sorry, my fault. Please keep speaking in Russian.
Okay.
I am very happy to welcome everyone in our small flat, small room. Always happy that so many devotees are able to fit here from around the world every week. Yesterday we had Bhagavad Gita reading, and of course this week was very full of, Vamandeva's appearance day, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance day, disappearance day of Haridas Thakur. And we tried to follow all these days. We listened to Katha, we listened to Leelas of Vamanadev, and very inspiring. And today with Tatiana we talked this is connected with yesterday's reading of Bhagavad Gita, the third chapter, 6th verse. It says, who is externally holding his senses but keeps, hankering for sense gratification, he's cheating himself and others. And Tatiana was quoting, and she was listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, connection with Vamanadev, and Shukracharya was saying that we must... Yes? Okay, you can say. So it's said there that only you can be free from your material desires only when you live through them. If you have material desires, they must be fulfilled, otherwise you will be disappointed. And then you get wisdom, and then you get liberation. And but if your flesh, if you do not feed your flesh, then the soul in the body will die. That's some kind of words from Shukracharya. And this is in connection with this verse from Bhagavad Gita 3.6. Well, we know that Shukracharya, he's a demon. And Bali Maharaj, he did not listen to him. And if we go back to 3.6 of Bhagavad Gita, that verse, then we do have these material desires which come to us by the cause of our karma, and we kind of push them away, but still they're present. And how, if we can discuss this topic, this connection, what Shukracharya said and what Bhagavad Gita is saying, 3.6. And also, I can also add that, Maharaj, I sent you the Pandita's visit itinerary yesterday, and we were talking about the plan with her, and she's a little nervous. It's her first time. Oh, don't worry, because Madhusudan Maharaj is supporting, and he's giving this inspiration, and we're very happy that we are able to, accept Pandita, and we have this little bit intense tour, fast visit to each place, night and day. But we'll see what will be. But she's happy to participate, and also I asked her to take a few English books, Shri Krishna, Reality the Beautiful, and a few more Bhagavad Gita. Because Vilnius, they don't read Russian, they read English, but they can read English. And in 2 weeks' time, this will all be happening. So such is the news, and such is the topics for discussions.
Well, yes, microphone is on. Well, I would love to let you all hear what I've been listening to for the last half an hour. Actually seated in a chair, because there's a chair out there for our VIP guests. So I took advantage of the chair out at the Samadhi, the Pushpa Samadhi of Srila Gurudev. And it's very beautiful out there, but a bit bright. And I thought we can do the Zoom here, but I wouldn't have been able to see the screen, unfortunately. But it's very beautiful. And so on Srila Gurudev Samadhi, I was listening to Srila Gurudev, and it was, you can say, a random audio, because it was on the tablet, and I'm usually listening from the phone because the phone is more portable. And I was wondering why I had this audio in its own folder. So I was listening, and it was Srila Gurudev talking on this subject about the senses, and talking on this subject about how really the devotees, they must be attacked by the various enemies in this world, because we are in this world. But every time that they will be attacked, then with more and more vigor, the devotees are reminded about devotional service and to chant the name of the Lord. And of course, Gurudev is quoting verses. He quoted a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and he just gave such a beautiful and lively talk. And this was way back. I don't know, I can maybe try to play now, because I have it. And I don't know if I'll be able to, whether it will be clear enough, but let us see. So it's obviously, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but a few minutes. And so I haven't marked a particular place because I didn't know you would bring up the subject. Otherwise, I might have marked it and said, oh, this is a very good place for us to hear. But let's just hear a little bit, because it's Srila Gurudev. It's from 1997, which interestingly to me feels recent. Of course, 2007 feels very recent. But 1997, by this time, Srila Gurudev had been, well, the Acharya now for 10 years, because 1986, Srila Guru Maharaj gave the Acharyaship. So anyway, like 10 years, maybe 1 year out. But he'd also been by now around the world since 1992. So 1997, Srila Gurudev is speaking, and it feels recent, but of course by now it's almost 30 years ago, amazingly. So here, at least a short bit from Srila Gurudev. Let's see what he has to say.
Trying to leave everything and trying to do seva for Krishna. Nirvinna sarva karmashu. No other intention except Krishna seva. They have no other intention.
The next translation never goes that way.
This is Bhagavad. Nirvinna sarva karmashu. Veda dukkha pradana. He knows the desiredness always giving some trouble. Mundane desire always giving trouble to us. And desires have no end. One after one. Veda means they knows. Dukkha pradana. And when we are not getting the mundane things, what I want, then the sadness coming to us. Veda dukkha kama. But parityaga parisara. But they cannot be completely everything. Some attachment with this mundane. They are trying to live very hard. Try, but cannot successfully live. But they have love and affection for Krishna, honor and attachment for Krishna, everything. But mundanity not living completely for them.
And maybe Paramanand Prabhu, was it clear enough for you to hear and give a summary in Russian?
Maharaj, it was breaking a little bit, so like fragments. By some reason it breaks.
And Harigopal Prabhu, was it breaking for you? Because probably Zoom is trying to, it thinks that hissing, okay, then it's good I just played a short part. But Srila Gurudev, he's just being very realistic and quoting from the scripture about mundane desires must come to us in this mundane world. But the devotee, he knows that those desires are bad and those desires will give a bad result. But he can't quite leave them yet. But every time, essentially, he's coming to say, but the devotee, he will always have his heart to Krishna. He will always be remembering Krishna. And then, bit by bit, and Gurudev presently saying, and one day, just by trying to stay within Krishna consciousness, within serving consciousness mentality, and with love, always this theme of love coming with Srila Gurudev, and with love, regretting their material desires, tendencies, whatever may be. But Gurudev is saying, but one day, like waking up, they will suddenly wake up and find all of these unwanted things, they've suddenly gone. And that his stress is like the suddenly gone. Because Krishna is seeing the devotee's sincerity. He's seeing their love and affection. And Krishna, he's seeing they're trying to put him at the center. And then when Krishna seeing him trying and trying and trying, one day suddenly, like waking up, like clear, everything suddenly become very clear. Everything of the mundane world left behind, and their Krishna consciousness is awake. Very beautiful talk. So this is Srila Gurudev, something on this theme. And tolerance, Gurudev wasn't saying it here, but very recently we've been hearing about Gurudev saying about tolerance. Everywhere we have to tolerate, and we have to tolerate the extra disturbances that come in Kali Yuga. We have no other way but to tolerate. So these 4 directives, or 3 main directives that Srila Gurudev would say, 3 things: humility, tolerance, giving honor to others. This theme is always being reiterated. And by the way, I was very happy to get confirmation just recently. We always say about, Haridas Thakur, we've just all been hearing about Haridas Thakur's disappearance. And I hope everybody here has read chapter 11 of Antya Leela, the disappearance of Haridas Thakur. I mean, read just now. I know you've read it before. We've all read it before again and again. But I mean, it's just so wonderful to read that chapter about Haridas Thakur's passing away and Mahaprabhu bathing the body of Haridas Thakur in the ocean and then declaring that this ocean has now become a great place of pilgrimage. And it was in Lakhta, in Russia, St. Petersburg, in the Lakhta temple. And maybe some of you were there, Subhadra may be there, I do not know at that time. But Gurudev said there in Lakhta that this Bay of Finland, perhaps that area, that sea which is outside, it is salt water. And there Gurudev said about how all the oceans, they're all connected with that water in Jagannath Puri that Mahaprabhu bathed Haridas Thakur. And Gurudev said, and it is the power of Haridas Thakur and Mahaprabhu's bathing him that sanctified the whole of the saltwater oceans. They're all connected together. And this way, he was directly saying about like a remote place, the Bay of Finland, but it is saltwater, and it was there. And that he said about the saltwater, and maybe in California, but this was confirmed just very recently, that how Gurudev said while he was on his travels about all the oceans are places of pilgrimage. And here we are getting requests for another pilgrimage in 2026, like we did a walking pilgrimage this last year. Or maybe I shouldn't say too much because we get a list of devotees coming. But we're saying, okay, but we want to have a pilgrimage connected with Gurudev, connected with something holy. And then anyway, we heard this just in the last couple of days. We heard this about St. Petersburg and Gurudev saying these things about all the salt water. And then with that, we thought, well, Italy is surrounded by salt water. So we can make a pilgrimage to the ocean, to the beach. It's the Mediterranean Sea, but it's a saltwater sea. It's all connected. We thought, okay, while we're thinking of places where we could connect with Gurudev. Are you okay? You want to get some water? More good wishes needed for Kumkum from you all. Oh, it's coughing. Oh dear. Hare Krishna. Madhura Leela. 1997. That feels recent. Wasn't that just a few years ago? A few months ago, I think. I was a freshman in college. My. And reading an abysmal translation of Bhagavad Gita for the first time for a class. Hare Krishna. All right. Thank you for your reflections. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, by the way, you mentioned, today somehow on YouTube, I was searching for Haridas Thakur or about him. And the first video YouTube gave me, it is when you and Paramananda Prabhu were in Jagannath Puri in Siddhavakura. And both of you were giving a class and you're talking about Haridas Thakur. And this is very wonderful to see that. This mood, the mood of Parikram, the mood of Haridas Thakur, and your mood. Inspired, your eyes were shining, as always. And this was very wonderful to see. Hare Krishna.
It's all about the lighting. Hare Krishna. We have been on Parikram many times in Puri by the Lord's grace. So we were at Siddha Bokul and giving a class. So where were we at Siddha Bokul? Seated just beside the tree? I'm just trying to locate myself that time and place.
Yes, near a tree. And as always, kirtan was on the background. Devotees were chanting. And you were talking about execution of Haridas Thakur.
What?
When the Muslims said, "Oh, stop chanting Haridas Thakur," and Haridas Thakur said, "No, you can cut me into small pieces. I will not stop doing that." And then, and 22 times he was ordered to execute him. And when the executors became tired because they failed, but then they told him, "Please, if we are not able to execute you, they will execute us." So this is the story we're talking about. And I tried to tell this story to Tatiana as well. And she said, "Interesting. Why did Haridas Thakur survive so much pain? I mean, they were beating him they were putting their strength into that. They were really beating him on 22 marketplaces. Why was he able to tolerate so much pain? And why? Why did they do that to him?" So yeah, we were discussing that topic.
And what did you answer, Suresh Krishna?
I said, because Haridas Thakur has faith in the holy name. That is it. That is all. He believes in the holy name. Nothing is able to hurt him because he's always chanting the holy name. And Tatiana said, "Well, 300,000 names per day. How can you eat when you have so much to chant?" And we ended up we have no faith in the holy name. We do not have enough faith because we are, and that's why we're, taking care of our other necessities. So if we had 100% faith in the holy name, then, and this example is also showing us the glory of Haridas Thakur. And Harigopal on Ekadashi from Sharanagati, he posted a little message. Maybe I can try to read it as well, Maharaj. If that's okay. Little reading.
Definitely.
Your mind is wandering all over the universe when you chant. Chant anyway.
So whose quotation is this? Who's the
Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur from
Okay.
Sharanagati, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Your mind is wandering to the past and the future when you chant. Chant anyways. You're not able to concentrate on Krishna's names while you chant. Chant anyway. You have no taste for chanting. Chant anyway. You have lusty desires. Chant anyway. You're making offenses in chanting? Chant anyway. You're not praying to Krishna to help you chant better? Chant anyway. You often chant late at night. Chant anyway. So why? Why should you chant despite all the above obstacles? This is why. There is no vow like chanting the holy name. No knowledge superior to it. No meditation which comes anywhere near it. And it gives the highest result. No penance is equal to it. And nothing is as potent or powerful as the holy name. Chanting is the greatest act of piety and the supreme refuge. Even the words of the Vedas do not possess sufficient power to describe its magnitude. Chanting is the highest path to liberation, peace, and eternal life. It is the pinnacle of devotion, the heart's joyous proclivity and attraction, and the best form of remembrance of the Supreme Lord. The holy name has appeared solely for the benefit of the living entities as their Lord and Master, their supreme worshipful object, and their spiritual guide and mentor. Whoever continuously chants Lord Krishna's holy name, even in his sleep, can easily realize that the name is a direct manifestation of Krishna himself, in spite of the influence of Kali Yuga. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sharanagati. And this is very inspiring, and it connects everything. In this week, appearance of Vamdev, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, disappearance of Haridas Thakur, and this quotation which Harigopal posted. Very big gratitude to Harigopal.
Jai.
Well, I have to give honor to whoever posted it before me, and that was Damarasa Devidasi.
Okay. Well done for giving honor to who posted it before. Yes, well done. Okay, so now nobody has any excuse not to chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And what was Mahaprabhu's instruction? Whether eating, whether sleeping, whether getting up and waking, anything, take the name of the Lord. Chant this Maha Mantra. I have explained it to you. I've given it to you. Now in every circumstance, chant it. 24 hours a day, continually. Hare Krishna, you see, Mahaprabhu gave 24 hours. Hare Krishna. Well, it's been an intense week, as we've heard, and I mean, really, we almost like in a continuous river of hearing and reading topics on Vamanadev, Jiva Goswami, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Haridas Thakur, and the Chaitanya Charitamrita flow that we're reading every day, in addition to the Chaitanya Charitamrita description of Haridas Thakur's passing away. But very intense week in this way. And here in Vila Govinda, the devotees, they're running with a minimum crew because devotees after the festival times, they've been returning to their homes. But today they're doing the kiosk with quite a lot of customers on a beautiful day outside, as you heard. Really, it's a beautiful day. It's like autumn, not hot, not cold, sunny with a little wind. And so they got lots of customers. I was out there, but I think I frighten the devotees away more than I attract them, because they see me in the cloth and they wonder. So I could try to go there gently and see if anyone is interested at all. And it's an interesting reaction from the public when they see somebody wearing such clothes. However, what was I going to say? Oh, yes, and also they are doing catering, outside catering this weekend. Today, also outside catering. So in other words, doing vegetarian, of course, catering for an outside program, party. And also doing today and yesterday, near Monza, doing book table, the stall, gazebo, kirtan, harikatha, these programs near Monza, which is an hour or so away from here. And we'll be going there after this program also. Already devotees are there, and we're going there for our evening slot on the stage. So let's see if we can do something good. We never know who is out there, who Krishna sends along. Maybe everyone's only interested in a healthy body and a foolish mind. But we would like them to forget about their body and give them some good nourishment for their mind. But quite often these festivals, they are healthy body and foolish mind festivals. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, еще вопрос такой по поводу
Maharaj,
Пауганда Лила.
another question about
Какой
Pauganda Lila.
период? Это
What is
юность Махапрабху или
that the
детство
youthfulness of
Пауганда
Mahaprabhu or
Лила?
his
Что мы
childhood,
сейчас
this
по утрам
Pauganda Lila?
читаем
Because right now we're reading
Читание Читамрита,
each
Ади Лила,
morning
это
Chaitanya Charitamrita
Пауганда
Adi
Лила.
Lila
И
about
я
this Pauganda Lila, and
не мог
I did
понять,
not
все-таки это
I did
юность
not
или
fully
это
understand
детство до
whether this
юности.
youthfulness or childhood before youthfulness.
Okay, then just look it up on Vedabase, because I also would have to look it up to be sure that I get the right age group, because there are different age groups of children, as Tatanya knows with her child just there. So there are different age groups of children, and as growing up, I mean, we can look it up right now and see. Also, Pauganda Lila. If anybody knows it for sure offhand, please say. Otherwise, Vedabase.io is our definite friend. Chaitanya Charitamrita. From the age of 5 years to 10 years. And by the way, I'm only looking things up on the Vedabase or on sesmap.com and the search engine. It is not safe to go to your artificial intelligence and these other places. So this is from Srila Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita. And there it's telling Pauganda of the age from 5 years to 10 years. And actually, this is right here. You're probably reading then from Adi Lila, chapter 15, because this is dealings of this age. The chapter of the title is the Lord's Pauganda Lila. And right at the beginning of the chapter, then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is explaining. Let me now enumerate the activities of 5 and 10. His chief occupation during this period was to engage himself in study. You were going to say play, weren't you? In study. So yes, Pauganda Lila.
Меня в этом моменте смутило, что там дальше
At that
говорит,
moment,
что сначала он учился, а потом
later it
женился.
says, first he was studying and then he got married. And I thought that maybe there's some different measures of those groups or periods of lives. I mean, I said that during the recording, I said it's his youthfulness, but then I reread that and it says 5 to 10 years, and then I realized it's childhood. But then why is he getting married right after? So that was my confusion.
Okay.
Well, it may be the wording, but I mean, we know that he got married when he was over 10. So I don't know, we'd have to look again, look at the wording, look at the Bengali also as far as you can. But probably he's going to say then, after his Pauganda Lila, presently he got married, but I doubt you're going to find that it says that he got married in his Pauganda Lila.
Maharaj, еще также был вопрос о...
Maharaj, also, there was a question we were thinking about last week. What is real in this world? I was listening to Subjective Evolution of Consciousness, and Guru Maharaj is talking about what is real in this world. But he's not going into that. He's not going into that question. And I have a question about what is real in this world.
Well, my first answer is the pure devotees are real in this world. And then, if we think of our Salt Lake City temple, you'll say, everything in this world has got its reality. It all depends on the depth of vision of the seer. But still, it is considered that this world is a reflection of the upper world or a shadow of the upper world. but we can consider that the devotees who've come from that upper world, they are real here. It may be a shadow stage, but the reality personalities have come here. And Krishna's Leela, Mahaprabhu's Leela, means Vrindavan Dham and Navadip Dham. And then we know that there is reality there. But again, how to see? I was asked just this morning or yesterday about how to see Govardhan Hill in Navadip. But actually, how to see Govardhan Hill in Govardhan also. Because when we read the descriptions of Govardhan Hill, it is quite different than what we see with our eye in Govardhan, where you take the train and the bus and the rickshaw, etc., and go to in Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan, by the way, it's in 2 states. But in Navadip, the rickshaw drivers will also tell you they're not cycling uphill and downhill, even though Govardhan Hill is there. They would have a hard time to cycle up and downhill. So we know that reality is there, that the Lord comes with his own original stage. The original Lord comes with his original environment. So it is in the eye of the seer. But in the practical sense for us, we can say that we can interact with the pure devotees, means Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We can interact with them. We can meet the residents of Goloka Vrindavan, the residents of Navadip Dham proper, in the form of the devotees. So I'll go on that is reality. But I'd have to read that section of is it subjective evolution of consciousness you mentioned?
Yes,
Was
yes,
it that book?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
but there was some small part about it. It was not last chapter about Gayatri Mantra, before last chapter. I don't remember the number of chapter, about Bhagavad Gita, where it's mentioned, yes, quoting Bhagavad Gita. But there was some short part about this meaning, what is reality. So that's why I'm start thinking about it and asking, yes.
Hare Krishna. We can answer in different ways also. Let us hear from Paramananda Prabhu, some reflection on the idea of reality. Because you are real, we are real. Reality is around, but it is our perception. So Paramananda Prabhu, some reflection to help our perception, kindly.
Well, Guru Maharaj answered beautifully. Krishna consciousness is the reality.
Beautiful.
It is in our interest to get acquainted with that. So Maharaj did answer it already, saying that it's in the eye of the beholder. So if you are Krishna conscious, then everything is very much real for you because it is all connected with Krishna. Like one of the meetings we were discussing how the material world is actually the main reason for it to exist and to be manifested is for Krishna Lila. And a devotee, like Maharaj has mentioned already, a real devotee can see how it is all connected, so they can actually see it in a real light. But a non-devotee will always be covered by the illusion, impermanence. And it is also said in the Shastra that the world is real. It is no doubt real, but it's impermanent. It's not, we can be a conditioned illusion soul, but the world is quite real. So depending how you look at it, depending how you see it. And there are many instances Guru Maharaj is talking about it. And one thing I wanted to just to answer Suresh Krishna Prabhu's question about Haridas Thakur. I cannot recall for sure, was it in Chaitanya Bhagavat or Chaitanya Charitamrita? But at some point, Mahaprabhu is talking to Haridas, and then he is recalling his punishment on the 22 marketplaces. And then he is saying, at that time, I took that beating and I took all the pain on myself so that you wouldn't feel anything. But the way you answered is actually absolutely correct. Because of his faith, he had that kind of connection, substantial connection with the upper world. And of course, we're talking about Haridas Thakur. I mean, who is Haridas Thakur? So not to forget that. So that was Mahaprabhu telling to Haridas, I myself took that beating and I relieve you from all the pain and sufferings from that. So that is also important to know. And so many other instances, some other devotees there. In the similar situations, Krishna is also taking care of them. Just take Prahlad Maharaj, for example. I mean, how is that possible for a kid? Been severely, not even punished, but his father tried to kill him in so many different ways, and he was very devious, designing different ways of killing. Very effective killing, but did not succeed it because Prahlad was always fully surrendered to the Lord and taking his full shelter, absolutely confident that the Lord will protect him, and Lord did protect him. And the list is actually infinite, just like the Lord's pastimes are infinite. But yes, this is another thing to consider. And on the senses, it's the same. When we talk about it, then you can include everything into it. How to control the senses and how senses are so powerful. And Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, he's expressing that. He's saying, Kala Kalir Balina Indriya Vairi Varga, Shri Bhakti Marga Ihakantaka Kotiruta, Haha Kvayami Vikalam Kimaham Karomi, Chaitanya Chandra Yadinadi Kripam Karoshi. He is saying that in this particular age of Kali, the senses are more powerful than in any other age, and they're becoming formidable enemies, almost impossible to defeat. And another problem we're facing is that the illustrious path of bhakti is covered by the weeds or brambles of misconceptions. It's very difficult to perceive. We're taking things for granted, but really to get substantial connection with the pure flow of bhakti is very rare, incredibly rare. Bahunam Janmanamanta Krishna himself says that. So Bharavananda Saraswati Thakur points that out. Haha kvayame vikalam kimaham karomi. Then what should I do in this kind of dire situation? There's no way out. And then he is saying, Chaitanya Chandra Yadinadya Kripam Karoshi. I should beg at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for a drop of his mercy. And by his grace, by his mercy, the power of the senses will vanish and we can overcome their influence. And that is also confirmed by Srila Rupa Goswami in his famous verse when he is glorifying the holy name. Chetta prangana sangini vijayate sarvendriyani kritim. He is saying when the holy name really enters the heart of the one who sincerely trying to chant the holy name, then mind and senses have no power. They stop functioning in the way they're functioning in the world of illusion, and they completely surrender to the holy name. Wherever Krishna appears, there is no influence of illusion, no Maya power. So many things we were talking today, they're very interconnected in many different ways, and expressed also in many different beautiful ways in the Shastra and our Guru Varga.
Jai. And the whole of Krishna consciousness is inconceivable to us. But it is not inconceivable to Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada. By the way, and just there is a famous quote we hear devotees quoting this quote from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But there's a quote which says, "He reasons ill who says that Vaishnavas die, ... And I'll read the whole quote in a second. But Srila Bhaktivinoda composed that for Srila Haridas Thakur's Samadhi, or that was put on his Samadhi. I do not know if it is on the Samadhi now, but he composed that in relation to Haridas Thakur, that verse which became. All right, so this is composed in English by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and like in praise of Srila Haridas Thakur. So he reasons ill who says that Vaishnavas die, when thou art living still in sound. The Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread the holy name around. Hare Krishna. So I just, maybe we changed context a little bit, but that was something which I'd heard before, but was new to me, reminded that this he composed for Srila Haridas Thakur, and this was on Srila Haridas Thakur's Samadhi. Whether it is on his Samadhi now or not, I do not know. Hare Krishna. And today it is the full moon halfway through Chaturmasya. So there are different levels of following Chaturmasya, but in general, halfway through, then at least those who are following quite strictly the month means they don't shave, they don't cut their hair, they minimize looking after their body. But on this halfway through, then they do shave the beard, cut the fingernails, look after the body once, like halfway through the Chaturmasya. And so that is today also. And Srila Gurudev, just to mention about Chaturmasya, seeing as we have, and that is that we have devotees in the mat and who attend the mat in Navadip. I'm talking about the time of Gurudev and Guru, who didn't shave, they did the external following of Chaturmasya, but no evidence that they're doing any additional Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, etc. And so Srila Gurudev was never in favor of this external show, and rather the seva connection. This was always everything, doing seva, seva, seva. And this is our great fortune in this age. And maybe it was here on the Zoom with you in Latvia recently, but there was one verse that we were reading, and it sounded as though it was going to be the same, similar to Kali Yuga is full of faults, but there is one great quality, which is the holy name. But this verse is saying Kali Yuga is full of faults, but there is one great quality. We have the opportunity to associate with Vaishnavas. And association means seva. And this way, when we have that opportunity and we have that association, that opportunity to do seva to the Vaishnavas, then this is super valuable. And when we read Srila Gurudev, read Srila Guru Maharaj, then we're always reminded of how valuable that is. And today, by the way, you know that maybe all of us have read all of Guru Maharaj's books, all of Gurudev's books, all of Srila Prabhupada's books, and many of them again and again. But today, a reading which was really felt like reading for the first time, but I've read it probably, I don't know, a minimum of 10 times, I can say, I mean, I'm not boasting, I'm just saying, I've read it so many times. I'm just doing the opposite of boasting. And I'm saying that after reading it so many times, today, reading this section from the Sermons of the Guardian Devotion, it was just so strong. And it's chapter 9 of Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, volume 1. Now, I don't know if you've got ready access to that in Russian. Hare Gopal Prabhu. I think the Russian version of Sermons, it's not exactly the Sermons of Guardian of Devotion, volume 1. I think it was like a combined book. But I'll just read it slowly, okay? Do your best, and I'll do my best to read it slowly. It's not a long reading, but what catches us, what jumps out at us, we want to share this. And why I'm sharing this, it's a reminder of our great fortune to have this guidance and opportunity that's been given by Mahaprabhu, but immediately for us by Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada. And here is Srila Guru Maharaj, and it's short.
Maharaj, what is the name of the chapter?
Faith in the Land of Sacrifice.
Oh yeah, I found it. And just from the beginning?
Yes, because you have it, and I'll read faster then. Okay, so, you have it in Russian, right? Yes, okay. So, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is putting the questions. So, this is about the Ramananda Samvad, as you know. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is putting the questions, and Ramananda Roy is answering. And in this posing, the entirety of theological development was expressed there on the banks of the Godavari River. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is magnanimity and sweetness combined. And that meeting on the banks of the Godavari was the only time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed his real identity. He revealed it to Sri Ramananda Roy in that place only, and we never find it anywhere else. Rasaraja Mahabhava Duyeka Rupa. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is both Radha and Krishna combined. The most secret portion of the truth was shown there only once, and we never find that it was expressed in any other place. The whole cause of existence is twofold. The predominated part of beauty and the predominating part of beauty. This has been taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srimad Bhagavatam. Not power or force, but beauty and love is the prime cause. This is a new grant to the world, which was never given to the world before, that the prime cause of the whole infinity is beauty and love. And this is the speciality of Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we need not be afraid. Apprehension is a superficial thing. It is Maya, illusion. In the depth of our life's achievement, there is no apprehension. All is love and beauty. Our future is guaranteed in a most optimistic way. And today, we very easily say, power over, beauty over power, beauty over power, and so many, we so easily say, and but this has been revealed at this time, in this era, this age, and how close we are to that goal of life, to that entrance opportunity to such a plane. So the external things, there is some formality that Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj want the devotees to keep, but the substance is always the main thing. And they have given us that substance. They have given us all the guidelines in page after page of book after book. And we really do have to always remind ourselves, and as we try to do all the time, and to take our devotional practice, devotional life seriously, with such things being revealed by who? By Srila Guru Maharaj, who particularly was blessed, you can say, by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to not only continue the lineage, but as the expert in the Ramananda Samvad. So very special things to very special people. Each of you, you are all special. To have appreciation for such things in this world. Hare Krishna. So, Suresh Krishna, we've filled your room, and we actually covered a little variety of topics this week. But all topics within a, as we said maybe at the beginning, like a flowing river of Harikatha and glorification of the devotees. Glorification of the Lord, glorification of the devotees, glorification of the name. And just before Haridas Thakur left his body, then Mahaprabhu was chanting the glories of Haridas Thakur, as though he had many mouths and flowing and flowing. And if you haven't read the chapter of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita about Mahaprabhu's disappearance, if you haven't read it now, I mean at this time of his disappearance, then please do add this as a priority in your devotional day or days. It's actually, we know how many verses it is. It's 108, which is a coincidence, no doubt. But it's 108 verses. It's not very long, but it's wonderful. All right, dear devotees, and Subhadra Devidasi just opened her camera. We can see you always doing seva. Maybe you're making clothing for the deities. I'm not sure. Was your on the thumbnail, but always doing seva. All of you doing seva because you're remembering, hearing, remembering, chanting, serving, all the things that we are meant to do. And especially, we're staying under the shelter of Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, and carefully try to follow the current that they are presenting to the world, and not try to make any change or to go in any sub-current, to go flowing off into a ditch somewhere. Yes, Harigopal, not to go flowing off into a ditch somewhere. Yes, got it. Suresh Krishna, over to you. Many thanks for hosting us, for having us in your living room, your devotional room today.
Hare Krishna, I'm very happy and very grateful to all of you, Maharaj, that you all come with Maharaj here every Sunday. You're my savers. Because of you, you help me to overcome my sense desires. So I'm very grateful for you, and will continue next Sunday. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Jai Achai Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Jai AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Gantarva Govinda Sundar Jiv ki jai, Giriraj Govardhana ki jai, Shri Nitai Gauranga Jiv ki jai, Guru Parampara ki jai, Guru Varga ki jai, Namachari Shri Rastakur ki jai, Ananta Kochi Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai, Tulasi Maharani ki jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Maharaj ki jai, Jai Shriman Paramananda Prabhu ki Jai, Shriman Yadu Krishna Prabhu ki Jai, all the assembled devotees ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
From all over the world, devotees ki jai, present here and not present here. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Nitai
Jai.
Gaura Hari Hari
Hari
Hari.
Bol.
Dandavat Pranam. All best wishes. Have a special week. And remember, Krishna consciousness really is reality. Krishna consciousness is reality. And it's in our best interest to be acquainted with that. As Paramananda reminded us, Srila Guru Maharaj's expression. Reality, the beautiful.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat.
Dandavat. Ami Ashti.